watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.
What's up? Hear me on the stream? Yeah, I'm not sure. Who did someone message you or something? Oh, well then maybe it's okay. So if anybody's out there watching right now, if you are able to hear me, please leave a comment.
No, we got it. I got it figured out.
So the audio was not working earlier?
Yeah, we just got it.
Right.
Yeah, I just decided to be stupid because... Alright, let's go ahead and bring things back up to the big screen now that I finally, this is what happens ultimately when I have to be the one to do this. Alright, so yeah, I'm honestly looking at this. It's a mid-pack accident, and ultimately, yeah, not sure how that doesn't bring out a caution.
Yeah, I do wonder if Jonathan Gervin, if he had stayed on the apron, if perhaps the caution wouldn't have come out. But and we have another driver there. It looks like he was coming back out as well. So that's I mean, at that point, I wish they had thrown a caution at the very beginning. But at that point, I wish the caution, and actually he stayed out on track. So and caution was out at that point. So the whole thing's bizarre to me. I don't really quite understand that.
Well, and I think I figured out what the audio issues are, is when I had the picture-in-picture, it wasn't working, because when I went back to the normal, it was fine.
Oh, well, that's bizarre.
And now it's working properly.
Okay, I wonder if it's something with the scenes or something. Okay, well, we'll worry about that another day.
OBS is its own little beast here, but right now, this is actually probably going to be in Blake Gordon's favor, because he's going to get the jump unless Alan Elwood and Michael Stroll coordinate their start. Blake should be able to slot right in. Should.
Yeah, I mean that's the benefit of this, being able to. And does leader have lane choice in this league? I don't think they do they?
It's been so long since I've run. I can't remember.
I usually rely on Adam for info like that. It looks like leader does have lane choice, so this is not good for Blake.
Honestly, I still think it will be, because he'll be able to hold that bottom line, take the shorter run. Michael Stroll will be able to get himself good and clear, and ultimately be able to just let Blake get up right behind him, no issues, and they can continue where they were.
Yeah, what Blake Gordon wants to see here is for Michael Stroll to get an incredible jump. Like, this needs to be just like, a nearly perfect jump, so that Randy Bechdel behind him will not be able to stay up with him, and then Blake can, slot right in. Honestly, Alan Elwood's probably hoping for the same.
I mean, I wouldn't argue that one, because he really wants to get himself back up. Even a third place tonight, given where everyone else is that he's competing with. Justin Morton's in 7th, Thomas Bressi is in 8th, so they're in the same row on this restart. Alan getting a third place is going to give him a massive pad going into the final race. And we'll go to the blimp with the pace car off, and Michael Stroll goes immediately. Alan Elwood gets an amazing jump right behind Blake Gordon, and this actually may end up hurting Alan Elwood more than Blake, as Blake's already drifting his way up there to get behind Michael Stroll, get the draft.
But look at Alan Elwood there. Wow. I was not expecting that sort of run there. I think Blake Gordon may have spun his tires just a hair on that restart. It looked like he got a little bit loose and lost some momentum. And that may have held Alan Elwood up. But, man, they are side by side right now.
And Alan Elwood running that low line. He is down on the white early, hard. And I don't know if second place is going to be worth the damage that he's going to do to his tires at this point in the race.
Yeah, it looks like he's slotting in behind now, but here he's going again. I mean, I really thought he was content there, but he's trying to make this work. You know, honestly, if anyone can make it work, I believe in Alan Elwood.
As our leader's blinking out ever so slightly. And that's not what you want to see this early in the race, but Alan Elwood has help down on that low line, and the draft is going to help a little bit, but I think now's the time to stop dropping, follow those two guys, and hold on to the position, because the longer he sits down there and fights, the more of an opportunity Thomas Bressi, who has made his way up to 5th, can catch him in the long run.
Look at this, though. I mean, he's a nose ahead of Blake Gordon right now, and he's now fighting for the lead. I mean, I will say this. If he can get to the lead, this might be okay, because then he can get up to the clean air and kind of let those tires cool off a little bit. But he's going for the lead right now. I mean, I think he's gonna. That's what he's focused on, and I can't fault him for that.
Well, and coming into the front stretch, take advantage of the tri-oval, take the shorter line down, drop below, and he's making it work. But again, I have to sit and wonder, at what expense if we stay green?
Yeah, we'll just have to keep an eye on those lap times and see what happens, because. Yeah, I mean, this is a risky move right here. And I'm running the in-car camera from Michael Stroll right now, which might give a really interesting view. Oh, Michael Stroll blinks out again.
That's only going to make it even more interesting for us.
Yeah, that's really, and honestly, I don't think I've seen that out of Michael Stroll this year. He's not your typical blinker, I don't think. So
I think the better in-car right now would be Blake Gordon.
Yeah, well, it changed on me, because originally it was, when Alan was getting up there, you were seeing a lot of Alan, but Alan might already be fading a little bit.
Well, and that is the risk that he's going to have to live with at this point. I don't know if he's going to be able to get himself up there. I think the best he can hope for is Blake Gordon to leave enough of a gap for him to slot in behind Michael Stroll, and I don't think that one's going to happen for him.
Well, yeah, I mean, not by choice, I don't think. But Blake's, honestly, looking at what Blake's doing right now, I mean, there's a slot right there. I think, man, it really looks like Blake is just trying to conserve right now. Really a veteran move right here. I'm seeing the same thing out of Stroll, but just watching in car with Blake Gordon.
And he slides in finally, and now I think he's just going to be in the tire conservation, as Blake Gordon is actually dropping back ever so slightly.
He's getting a run right here. Look at that. He went a little high, and I think, yeah, he's trying to. I was going to say apex late, but he's not apexing late. He is entering a little bit slower so he can get a faster exit.
As we're starting to see Thomas Bressi try to take the same path that Alan Elwood did to move himself forward.
I'll tell you, I think the high line's the right move right now. I would run the high line. I would not be worried about passing, but Alan Elwood trying to make it work again.
Well, as we're going 2 by 2 through the front stretch for the first 4 positions, and I honestly never dreamed I would be seeing this much action in the first 20 laps.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the nature of Atlanta, right? I mean, there's so much opportunity to work through tire wear strategies, and then also, it's multi-groove. I mean, there's a lot that can happen here that you don't get at other mile and a halves.
No, and that's why I'm so sad to see the reconfiguration coming. Maybe it'll make it a little bit better, but
yeah,
I'm not holding out too much hope.
I'm excited to run the reconfiguration. I just hate that it's replacing this, which has been producing some great racing and iRacing at the very least, and one of my favorite tracks to run. And I think a lot of guys out here would probably agree with that.
I definitely agree with that, even though you tend to beat me at this track if we have long runs.
We're 1-1. It's all right. But man, right now, I mean, I think I'm looking at lap times, and at least compared to the others, Alan Elwood's times have, you can see it on track, have not really fallen off. So I mean, maybe dropping to that bottom, the way he was running it, there are ways you can run it and kind of be gentle on your tires, like lifting completely out of the throttle and just kind of coasting down there can won't be so bad on him. But obviously he knows the line to run to take care of the tires down.
And Mike, he is going to continue battling with Michael Stroll, and I wanted to go to the blimp because I think it gives such a beautiful view of how many different lines we're seeing right now through the front pack. And a whole lot of racy currently going on, especially as we go to Travis McQuistion and Randy Bechtel.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. There's racing throughout the field right now. Really, I mean, everybody in the top 17 are all within a half second of each other. I mean, it's remarkable right now. What's happening. I'm looking. Hayden Pistorius is one guy I'm looking at right now. He is up 10 spots since the start of the race. That's incredible. Because. But, this is a multi-group track where you see a lot of the passing happens usually after, guys get on pit cycles and things like that. Right now, I mean, he's just cutting through the field up to 10th place and trying to take another spot from Chad Mikos here. Man, he's making it look easy right now.
It's Mikos, as we're seeing Blake Gordon taking them 3 wide into turn 3 to take over the lead. And, oh, God, the netcode gods are apparently happy right now.
Wow, that was something else right there. I've seen wrecks for less than that. That was very close and very fortunate we did not end up with a wreck, but it's clear Blake Gordon was tired of just sitting up there and riding.
Yeah, he definitely is trying to make a move, but unfortunately for him, that's opening the door for Thomas Bressi, and he loses a position in that process. But now we're seeing Michael Stroll be the one to try that low line and see if he can get himself up to Alan Elwood, and that might not have been the smartest move because he's dropping back, and now he's been completely released and has a third of a second over Thomas Bressi, who tags the wall.
Well, was that Bressi that tagged the wall, or was that Blake Gordon? I think
that was
both.
Bressi.
Oh, that's when I was someone in the wall up there. Is that
that's Travis McQuistion dropping back, and these guys starting to get racy has made it to where Alan Elwood is now off to the races and half a second clear of second place.
Hey, I'm going to give huge props to McQuistion there, because your natural instinct as a driver, when you start hitting the wall, you want to do everything you can to get off of the wall. Instead, he stayed up there, and it prevented a much bigger incident from happening. So hats off for that. That is a really good move right there. It helped preserve his race, but also kept us green flag racing. He's not interfering with the outcome of this race right now.
I'm going to jump back into the battle for third because we've got 3 cars directly fighting for it. And Justin Morton, one of the top 3 in the playoffs right now, is looking to take advantage as much as he can. get himself back into fighting position, because he's got to clear these 3 cars to truly be able to keep up the fight.
Yeah, and you can see, I mean, throughout the field, you're seeing a lot of guys shift their line a little bit further down. And honestly, I mean, like I was saying, I kind of expected this, that you might see the line shift a little bit on a longer run. You know, and we're certainly, I mean, even the high line right now, you know, right there, Stroll's pretty high, but the high line in general seems to have shifted down about a half a lane.
And we're seeing that target car of Blake Gordon fighting for the lead earlier has dropped himself back into 8th place after starting in 1st tonight.
Yeah, I'm thinking that perhaps running that high line wasn't as good for their tires as we expected. You know, a lot of times you get up there and you're working the wheels so much to try to keep it from spinning and keep from hitting the wall that you're killing your right front tire. And you know, especially when you get behind another car, like, you know, Blake was, you know, it takes off some of your downforce, and yeah, I mean, it can make it worse. So I think that might be what we're seeing right now. Just, you know, that high line maybe wearing tires a little more than we expected.
Well, and I think if we join the bumper of our leader, I think he has gapped Thomas Bressi just enough to where the draft isn't going to do much of anything for him. And now he has just free sailing to go ahead and gap the field.
Elwood is one of the fastest on the track right now, but I mean, really the fastest guy on track right now is the guy I brought up earlier, Hayden Pistorius. Right now, he's trying to make a move on Randy Bechdel for the 6th position. Up 13 spots since the start of the race. He is laying down faster laps than our leader. That time by he did not, because he was in the middle of a pass, but at least the previous lap, he was laying down some, you know, laid down a wicked fast lap, and gets a little loose.
Sometimes you just want to get the power down and complete the pass, and it looks like he should be able to slide himself up coming out of 4 and have the pass complete to where he is up 14 spots right now.
Yeah, that's incredible. Just really just, I mean, you know, I don't believe the league is doing the Hard Charger Award anymore, if I read correctly. So no award for this, but I mean, hey, he's the Hard Charger so far tonight, looking really strong. And
just having an absolutely amazing run. But I got to go back up towards the front, because these guys, this battle for 2nd is heating up to where Tyler Hensley is trying to get himself on that low line around Thomas Bressi. And if he can hold the run off of turn 2, he should have the pass done. And this battle is exactly what Alan Elwood's wanting to see, because you know what? Let him fight. I'll gap you by 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, Elwood right now, he is, what he is doing right now is incredible. I was not expecting, with him running that lower line, to have, you know, saved his equipment as much as he has, but he has. I mean, he is clearly faster than everyone behind him right now, despite running what you would consider a more aggressive line. And I hope the other guys out here, maybe next, after they pit, they might run something a little bit different.
I would expect no less. And I'm wanting to come back here as Blake Gordon is amongst a mess of cars, to where Joe Dinsmore and Chad Mikas are looking to take advantage of, apparently Blake burned his tires up and now is a sitting duck and dropping back farther.
Well, you know, you and I have covered Joe Dinsmore on Sunday nights many times. We've covered this particular battle many times with Joe Dinsmore and Blake Gordon. Dinsmore's a guy who can do long runs. I mean, that's really one of his signatures. And right now, I mean, it's clear he's got more long run speed than Blake Gordon in this case, and probably some drivers in front of him as well. So I think we're going to see Joe Dinsmore making some moves.
Well, and he's working on trying to catch himself back up. He's currently running in 9th, but this little pack that we have going right here, it is easily the most entertainment on track, because as we're seeing right there, we have guys running the low line, Blake trying to save on that top, and I think you nailed it earlier. You got to start dropping down, because that high line is not doing him any favors right now.
Yeah, I'm thinking, possibly Elwood was doing something along the lines of, at least in the ARCA cars, this would work, completely lifting for a decent amount of time and going that low line, kind of cutting the course, but also possibly even dragging the brake just a hair to help get a little more weight on those front tires, help it turn and reduce some of the wear on that right front.
As we're seeing Tyler Hensley cutting into that lead of Alan Elwood now that he is free. He's running over a 10th faster, and Alan Elwood is only in front of him by about 0.8 of a second right now.
Well, I'll tell you what, we are getting close to the pit window opening. I think we said 50 laps earlier is what we kind of estimated, but we reach around, really right about now. I mean, you could pit now and still be, on a two-stop strategy. Or I should say one more stop from here. So I think you're going to start seeing some guys try to, cut it a little short. Cause we've got about a 2-second fall off across the board right now. So someone can come in early and gain those 2 seconds back just by pitting early.
Well, and I wanted to jump back here for Thomas Bressi is now starting to come under pressure from Hayden Pistorius, and if we can stay green,
we got guys entering pit road.
We do have our first takers to where Chad Mikas and Blake Gordon have entered pit lane, and I think this may be, it's the safe strategy, cut the race directly in thirds, and especially with the speed loss that Blake Gordon had, it's the right call to where Michael Stroll, Eric Weinling, Casey Shue are all in as well.
Yeah, I think Alan Elwood's in the position where he can stay out a little bit longer. He's got a little bit of a gap. The thing he doesn't want to have happen is for him to pit too early and then a caution comes out and then he's, way back in the field. So he wants some of these guys to pit first, and then that way, when he comes in the pit, it's a little bit safer. He might lose some positions, but he knows he's fast tonight, so I don't think he has to be concerned about that.
Well, as we're seeing Thomas Bressi and Hayden Pistorius, they are battling hard for that third place, and Hayden is pulling Justin Morton along to get a few extra points over his playoff rival.
Yep, so we got a few more have come in. Randy Bechdel, Brian Kidda, Chris Matthews are in. I think we're probably 2, maybe 3 laps away from our leader coming in. I don't think he's going to stay out much longer. When I say the leader, I mean all the these guys are still out. Looking at someone like Joe Dinsmore, what are his lap times? Joe's lap times weren't quite as good as I was expecting, but
he's still just a little over 2 seconds off of his fastest lap.
Yeah. So, I think these guys are going to be coming in very soon. You'll probably see someone try to stretch it and hope for a caution. But right now, if you stay out too long, we get Justin Morton coming in.
And I don't think that this is going to be a fuel-mandated pit. But where he was, that one lap of an undercut, it is going to be massive.
Who are you talking about there?
With
like
Justin
Morton?
Morton.
Just from But I think we're going to see here. But I think Justin Morton might cycle out behind Blake Gordon. Because of how Blake Gordon had probably 3-4 laps. Actually, looks like 6 laps prior to Morton. So we'll see here. Morton's coming off of pit road, I think, right now.
He is on the apron, and there goes the 13 of Blake Gordon. He's going to cycle out next to him.
Yeah, but in this case, that's
going to
win.
last long.
Yeah, that's still a win for Justin Morton. Oh, and Alan Elwood, Hayden Pistorius coming in.
So that is going to give the lead to Tyler Hensley. And I'm going to make the assumption that we're starting to reach the fuel mandated pit window.
Yeah, I honestly think they can stretch it for another lap or two. I think Hensley might be coming in here.
He definitely is. Yeah. And this is one of the treacherous pit road entries that you have to come off the banking directly in. And that's going to give Thomas Bressi the lead of the race, followed by Joe Dinsmore, who is 5 seconds behind. And this is where it starts to get very interesting, because the tire differential between the guys that just came out of pit lane and
Eric Wineland there
just
gave Bressi a scare,
and that is an unfortunate turn of events. And yeah, that's not what you're wanting to see from one of our playoff contenders. But Joe Dinsmore is now in the lead of this race, and I have a feeling that there were some not radio appropriate words being said over the radio there.
Well, it really comes down to whether or not Bressi called out that he was stopping. If he called out that he was stopping and that happened, then that is 100% on Eric Wineland. Like, you've got to be, aware of where someone's at. But if he didn't call it out, there's no way for Eric to know that. So, he's just running his line out there. Actually, Eric Wineland just looked like he made contact with Bressi as Bressi was exiting the pits. I'm going to try to rewind that and take one more look.
Yeah, if you could, I'm going to go ahead and bring up our leader of Boomer Logan, who pitted on lap 5, so he definitely has extra fuel. So he can make his way around to where he had pitted on lap 5. John Griven, who is in second right now, pitted on lap 7, but Michael Stroll has taken over second place.
Well, if we want to pull up the picture-in-picture here, there wasn't contact, but he gave him a little scare, I think.
That's definitely a little bit on the scary side there.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if perhaps Bressi did not call it out, and Eric Wineland is a little upset about it. But we'll find out after the race what happened.
But through pit strategy right now, Michael Stroll, currently running in second, has pit, and our leader has not.
Yeah,
so he will be taking back over the lead of this race soon enough.
And Justin Anderson messaged a little while, commented a little while back, asked if Blake got damaged in the incident with McQuistion. I was kind of thinking that. I should have gone back and looked at it, but when McQuistion hit the wall, I thought Blake went to the wall as well, and I was kind of wondering if perhaps that was why he was falling off. But obviously now we don't have fast repairs in this league, but he probably had a little bit of the damage repaired. Gonna pull up and look at his lap for his pit time.
No, he's about on it where everyone else was.
Yep. So if he did have damage, I mean, he still got it. So we'll have to wait and see. I didn't see any damage on his car, but yeah, we'll just have to keep a lookout. See if I can do like a little rotation around this car, because
I'm taking a quick look right now. Justin Morton is under pressure from Alan Elwood, who pitted 2 laps later So he should have just a little bit extra speed. But this is effectively the battle for second place once the final pit cycles have gone through.
Well, it's a battle for, yes, battle for second, correct, yeah. But I don't know how long it'll be for second. I think, these guys do have fresher tires than Michael Stroll. I think they'll be able to run him down, just judging by lap times. But, if they battle each other too long, that might make it a little more difficult.
It certainly is going to, but it looks like Alan Elwood has the advantage. He has that top line figured out. Apparently, he has the bottom line figured out.
Well, is it any surprise? I honestly think he's had every line figured out at every track so far this year. He's fast. He's always fast. So no shocker there.
And he is quickly starting to close down Michael Stroll, who's only about 2 seconds in front of him. And Alan Elwood was about he was about 0.8 of a second faster on that last lap. So I think that is going to turn into a nearly negated lead. As we can see from the blimp, he's slowly making his way into the frame.
Yeah, I do think I want to focus a little bit, just talk about the fact that Boomer Logan's leading this race still, which is incredible. I mean, he pitted at that lap 5 caution, and here he is. I mean, he's up there leading. I mean, he must be doing some stuff with his fuel mileage, because I mean, that's even at lap 5. I mean, that's still stretching it out pretty far at this point.
But I have to come back here because Alan Elwood is right there on the bumper of Michael Stroll, and we can see that number 5 is getting bigger and bigger on that bumper every time by.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's got the speed right now. I think he's gonna move right now. I think he might wait another lap, but here it is.
Yeah, and going across the line, couldn't tell you who actually was in front at the line, but right now Alan Elwood is effectively going to take over the lead of this race. Once Boomer Logan, eventually he's gonna run out of gas.
I want to know what he's doing to save that much fuel. We're looking at, like, I mean, this is a very long run for him so far, exceeding what I thought would be our fuel mileage estimates. Some of those laps were on the caution, but man, just incredible. I mean, obviously he's going to fall way back when they pit, but really cool that he gets to come up here and lead some laps right now.
I mean, granted, he's not going to be able to get the most laps led on this, but if he is able to save,
he's getting close to making it.
He really is, as we're coming up to the halfway point. He's only got 2 more laps.
But at the same time, he hasn't done a 60-lap run because he pitted at lap 5. So I mean, he really needs to stretch it, well past that. I don't know what he's doing already. We'll have to see. I'm keeping an eye on him, see when he comes in here.
As we're going to go ahead and jump back, this is the apparently no. Justin Morton getting around Michael Stroll. And the tire differential, even on 3 laps, apparently is just, well, it's Atlanta. It's monstrous.
Yeah. I mean, no surprise there. Lap time's fallen off hugely already. We're going to continue seeing that all night.
And it's just going to keep happening as Alan Elwood has passed Boomer Logan, and I got to go back because we got to see that properly.
Boomer's out of gas. I think Boomer's out of gas.
Oh, he's coasting into the pits. So, yeah, he was just hoping for that caution. And that's not it. Boomer Logan into the pits, makes it there effectively, but Alan Elwood back into the lead of this race. Has one lapped car, and that is the 73 of Kyle Cooper. Once he gets around him, it's clean sailing for quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I want someone to come out and make something interesting. Like, come on, let's, somebody do something crazy. I think probably what the crazy thing that's going to happen is someone's going to mix it up in fuel strategy or you know, pitting strategy. I think that's our next big thing. I think Alan Elwood's going to take the safe route, but someone's going to either short pit or try to stay out a long time. We'll have to see.
Like we just saw, and we're going to jump back here as this is the battle for ninth as Brandon Bernhardt gets below his teammate of Blake Gordon, and there's Thomas Bressi just looking to make it not even a battle.
Yeah, well, I've always liked Brandon more than I've liked Blake, so that's a good pass to see. Blake's gonna be upset when he listens to or watches this broadcast, but no, that's really cool to see that. Brandon's fast tonight, and obviously so is Thomas Bressi, who just kind of flew by both of them.
Bressi is down a lap due to his pit road issues, which I can sympathize with more than probably just about anyone out there.
Well, speaking of pit road issues, Boomer Logan had them as well. Looks like he got held, you know, for the 45 seconds or whatever it is. So Boomer Logan's strategy ultimately did not work out and also fell back quite a bit.
As I'm going to jump up here to the battle for fifth, as Hayden Pistorius is continuing his charge back up towards the front, but definitely doing it when it counts the most right now. He is quite a ways back, but if he can stretch this speed and keep it going, because we saw he was great late in the run last time around. He's 21 laps deep at this point, so the tires are going to start to show their age.
Yeah, I mean, he's running about equal lap times with our leader right now,
Well,
and they both pitted at the same time.
Out. Blake Gordon's back in the pits. Will Roberts, John Griven are all in the pits right now. So you have to sit and wonder, is this just trying to use every set of Goodyears that are available to them to take as much of a fight as they can?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, they're going to be able to make it to the end from here, I would expect. So I think they should be able to make it to the end. I'm doing some quick math in my head. Be a little tight, but I can't imagine they would have pitted at that point if they didn't think they could make it to the end.
Well, we did see a massive run from who was our leader, Boomer Logan, for quite some time. I don't know if it would be enough at this point, but yeah, I don't think that they would go in unless they were told by their virtual spotters that they could make it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so either, but we also saw Boomer Logan. He was having to conserve quite a bit. I mean, these guys, you know, the entire point of short pitting is to, you know, use those tires, try to gain some positions. They can't conserve, so we'll have to see how it plays out, but I think they must know they can make it on fuel, but that would far exceed what we had expected on a fuel run.
And right now, the most interesting thing out on track is this battle for second, with Tyler Hensley in the lead of this pack with Justin Morton and Michael Stroll right behind him. And seems like everybody right now is pretty evenly matched, about a tenth of a second between them all right now. And I have to assume that Alan Elwood is currently in save mode. He hasn't opened up the same kind of gap that he had previously.
Hey, take a look at who's on pit road again.
Blake Gordon
Yep, I'm going to guess he must have gotten a speeding penalty because he is back on pit road. That is yeah, it looks like a speeding penalty. Nothing's being changed right now, and he has disconnected, I believe. Tough break tonight for Blake Gordon.
And especially for one of our playoff drivers, and there's nothing more frustrating than a speeding penalty.
Yep, you were right about that. But hey, we still got a lot of playoff drivers in this thing. Still going to have a heck of a race. I mean, well, we're going to have a heck of a race if Alan Elwood will let anyone catch him.
Well, and that's the big thing that is, I'm not going to say it's confusing me, but he's doing a good job of keeping about a 2-second gap over second place right now. So you have to think, don't use any more than you need to at this point in case Tyler Hensley ends up getting up to him, so you have plenty of tire left to fight.
Well, yeah, I think that could be potentially the case, but I also think there's a good chance that he's purposefully maintaining that gap regardless. And you know, I'm not sure if he's ever going to let Hensley catch him. I think this is just a you know, Hensley's out there pushing as hard as he can to try to gain every little bit, and meanwhile Alan Elwood can just sit up there and conserve and you know, not worry about things. If the gap starts shrinking, extend it out a little bit, not a big deal. And you know, I'm actually, he's doing that a little bit right now. It looks like it was starting to approach 2 seconds there for a little bit, but I think we're going to continue to see that. And I'm actually going to switch back here to our gearbox camera. And yeah, I mean, you can't, with that small screen down there, you can't even really see Tyler Hensley.
I was going to say there's a little speck there, but nothing more. As the battle for third, Michael Stroll and Justin Morton just keep swapping back and forth, almost like they're in an Indy car and trying to leapfrog to catch people. But
yeah, that won't work here.
No, that does not work the same way.
But yeah, I mean, those guys, both Justin Morton and Michael Stroll, having really great races. Still laying down some you know, pretty decent laps. Well, both of them did a 34-ish. Justin Morton did a 34.5. But you know, when you're battling, it's hard to get a good gauge in your lap times. And
there's no good reading that can come from that. But I wanted to jump back to the battle for 6th place between Eric Wineland and Chad Mikas, and these guys not really going for much more than bragging rights right now. Both of them are quite a bit adrift in the playoff points with only one race after tonight, but they're out there having some fun and trying to keep things interesting for us as we're just over 3/4 of the way through or no, 2/3.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's more than just, you know, going out there and having fun. I mean, you're still, you know, you may be out of reach of being first place in the standings, but there's second, there's third, there's fourth. I mean, you got a lot of places in the standings that, you know, are still in reach for you. So you know, go out there, have the best race you can, and it's not checkers or wreckers for these guys, right? I mean, they still can try to have a, you know, good season. They're still racing against guys for you know, the season championship.
But right now we're starting to see, just in the back of these shots, Thomas Bressi looking to gain as many positions as he can, and right now he's actually battling for 16th place with John Griven, taking the high line, trying to get himself up into this mix that we were watching earlier, and again, salvage as many points as he possibly can tonight.
Yeah. You know, someone I am watching right now, you know, we've been looking at it, is Tyler Hensley. That gap has continued to shrink. I was expecting that, you know, if we got beneath the 2.5 seconds, Alan Elwood would try to stretch it out a little bit. But that's not happening right now. I've been watching Alan Elwood get bigger and bigger in Tyler Hensley's windshield. So, I mean, he's catching him right now. Now, whether or not he'll be able to catch him, I don't know, but he's certainly narrowing that gap right now.
Well, we can look at it from both angles, from the Brandon Bernhardt roll bar camera of Tyler Hensley and the bumper of Alan Elwood. And yeah, that speck in the distance, it is definitely starting to get a little bit larger and ever so slightly creeping towards that 1 second mark.
Yep, he wants to hit that 1 second mark, because at that point you get the benefit of the draft. And when you have the draft, the draft at a track like this, because you are having to lift in the corners, I mean, it isn't massive. But what it means is, because you can gain back speed and time on the straightaways, you can lift a little bit more in the corners and therefore conserve your tires. So he's really trying to hit that 1 second mark right now.
And I don't think it's really the 1 second mark is where you start to get the sniff of the draft. It's about 8/10. But
yeah,
any kind of closing he can do coming into the pit window, because both of these guys have about 9 laps left on their stint, as we're starting to see the takers on pit road. Kyle Cooper has made his way in, so we may see a triggering of more pit stops here soon. And I got to go back here as Hayden Pistorius continuing his charge, now has himself up into 4th place, and now setting his sights on Michael Stroll.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a gap there. He's going to have to work out, but he's got the pace right now. I wouldn't surprise me to see him do it, but we're running out of time before these guys are going to start pitting.
And that's what we're going to need to keep a good eye on, because that is, we've dropped again by about 2 seconds over their fast laps.
Yeah.
So, all right, we've got to get ourselves back up here, because Alan Elwood, that speck in the distance, is 2/3 of a second behind him.
Yep, he's making it up almost a half second. We're getting close to that, and he's definitely feeling the draft at this point. We're about to have a battle here for the lead, I think.
And that is going to make this all the more interesting, because Alan Elwood does have the lead. He's not quite in frame on the TV cameras, but he's really closing it in to where he's only about 4/10 of a second back. So on the back stretch, it's going to close way faster.
Yeah, I mean, and at this point, it's how hard do you want to fight to get around him, because you got to think about your pit strategy as well, as he's coming in right here. As
Tyler Hensley dives in.
That is a brilliant move.
Knowing that he's within striking distance, get even 1 lap, he's going to cycle out before him. So we're going to have to wait and see how Alan Elwood reacts here, knowing that we're under 40 laps left.
You were saying earlier that it could be a case where Elwood was saving his tires a little bit so that he could hold him off on a potential battle, and that very well could have been the case. But Tyler Hensley just negated all of that. He basically said, "I'm not going to battle you. I'm going to go get 4 fresh Goodyears, and I'm going to come back out here, and I'm faster than you right now. And if we don't have a caution, I'm going to be in front of you when all this is done."
I have to sit and wonder, as we're going to jump farther back, as Randy Bechtel is starting to put Chad Mikas under pressure, as it looks like Hayden Pistorius is coming out of the pits as well right now, giving up that good track position that he had. But he's going to come out in this pack. He's got plenty of cars to draft, and he is going to just breeze by all of these guys.
Yeah, that's not a problem at all for him, and really for anybody to be on fresh tires. But I applaud these guys for short pitting. Not even really short pitting that much, but Alan Elwood has a little bit more liberty to do this, but in general, you do not want to try to race for a caution. Oh, whoop. Not sure what happened there with the 39. He got kind of all over the place.
Well, I think we may have had someone coming out of the pits, and Eric Wineland kind of probably gave him a little bit of a scare there.
Yeah, I was not looking at that screen. I saw smoke.
As Justin Morton, Brandon Bernhardt have taken into the pits from 6th and 7th, and they're holding on to that for quite some time.
Hey, you should pull up the picture-in-picture here, because Tyler Hensley right now, obviously a lap down, but he is just flying by, and I'm going to switch over to the TV camera. Already out of frame. I mean, he flew by Alan Elwood, no issues at all. Tyler Hensley back on the lead lap now, and should get this lead if we stay green.
Possibly.
Well, I said should. We'll have to see how it plays out.
As Alan Elwood is in from the lead, and Michael Stroll is inheriting first place from that pit stop. But you knew Alan Elwood had to react eventually, because he stayed out too many more laps, and there was going to be no chance at him being able to catch up to these guys.
Yeah, it's one of those scenarios when you get someone right on your bumper like that, by them going in a lap earlier than you, they've already taken the lead from you, as long as assuming all things are equal, you have equal pit stops, all that. So you want to lead, you want to have a little bit of an advantage when you have to try to pass them, so you stay out a little bit longer, so that, sure, you're losing a little bit more time, but you're going to have those fresher tires, and maybe you can make the move on him when you get up caught up with him.
Alan Elwood comes out behind Hayden Pistorius and Eric Wineland. And with the fresher tires, not all that fresher.
But
five laps is, yeah, that's pretty much where the first cliff comes in.
Yeah, I'm trying to take a look here. Alan Elwood right now.
Chad Mikus is making his way into the pits from second. Joe Dinsmore follows him. And Michael Stroll continues out on track. And he's about... Justin Morton is the first car a lap down, and he's going to be the last car on the lead lap soon enough, and there he goes. You have to be thinking, is Michael Stroll just holding out? And on this last lap, Alan Elwood sets the fastest lap of the race. And he's right
he's boxed
there.
In. He's boxed in right now. He probably wasn't crazy about that.
And he's released. And gets the run coming out of 4, leaving Eric Wineland and Hayden Pistorius in the dust. But Alan Elwood comes out of the pits, runs the fastest lap of the race, and is setting his sights on Tyler Hensley, who is in second right now with a 15-second gap to Michael Stroll, but 2 seconds a lap faster.
Wait, how much faster did you say it was?
2 seconds faster than Michael Stroll.
Michael Stroll, yeah, absolutely. He's catching up with him in a hurry. Stroll's gonna, if we stay green, Michael Stroll's gonna lose a whole lot of spots from this. And he's in now. Michael Stroll's in.
So Tyler Hensley is going to take over the lead of this race, but he has Alan Elwood back behind him just under a second faster.
Yeah, that's and it could, again, this actually could be a case where Hensley's trying to conserve a little bit so that he can be ready for a eventual battle, because at this point the battle is going to happen. If this is actually the difference in times, there's not going to be much of a battle. Elwood's going to fly past him, so I think Hensley might be just saving just a hair.
Well, I hate saying it this way, but with the speed that Alan Elwood has shown all night, there's a reasonable chance he's just that much faster with 5-lap fresher tires.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all. But even looking, I mean, I don't think there'd be this much of a fall off for Tyler Hensley. Like, I mean, he's almost at a 1 second fall off at this point. That it's a little early for that. I honestly think he's conserving, but we'll find out in a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to have to wait all that long because the gap is now under 6 seconds. And Alan Elwood is 0.7 of a second faster.
Yeah. If he's not conserving at this point, I'm not sure. Perhaps he has damage or something, because he's now a full second fall off. So we're about to find out, I guess, because like you said, the gap is about to go under 5 seconds.
And we're going to jump here to the battle for third as Hayden Pistorius is not giving Eric Wineland any breathing room. And looks like he may be able to get a pass done. Going through the front stretch, he's going to have his nose down below going into turn 1. Take the low line, and third place is going to be his once we hit the back stretch.
Yeah, heck of a run tonight for Hayden Pistorius, up 17 spots. But hey, Eric Wineland also up 11 spots. No surprise, we've seen Eric go through the field quite a few times this season, and having a great night tonight.
It all comes down to sometimes people just aren't the best at qualifying, but once you get to race pace, and especially since we have remained green since lap 5, the skill in saving your tires, we said it at the top of the broadcast, that is going to be the key tonight.
Well, our gap between Tyler Hensley, our leader, and Alan Elwood has shrunk to almost 3.5 seconds.
And he's maintaining that about 0.7 of a second faster at this point. And we'll bring up the comparison. He's averaging 0.7 of a second faster.
But you look at lap 100 there. Now, Alan Elwood has caught lap cars, and that's part of what he's going to slow him down. But I do wonder. I'm going to see lap times here. I'm curious if Hensley has turned up the pace a little bit. I
think he's just kind of hit that secondary cliff of the tires, as Alan Elwood looks like he is actually starting to get a bit of help from Will Roberts. No. Will is fighting him, which is exactly what Tyler Hensley wants to see. Oh, is Will... that's the commentator's curse that decides to go into the grass, but...
I was about to say, Will actually had quite a bit fresher tires there. I was expecting to see him be able to take that position away, but well, not position because he's lapped down, but at least position on track, and then that happened.
Well, and now he's got those wonderfully hot Goodyears with a bunch of blades of grass and dirt stuck to them. But this gap, and we'll go to the roll bar. Yes, Alan Elwood has lap traffic in front of him, but we'll ride on board while we see him powering through these lap cars, trying to make up the gap to Tyler Hensley. And for the most part, the lap cars are actually going to help him, punching a hole in the air in front of him. He's taking the slightly lower line and getting himself into the right position.
Yeah, as long as he's able to catch these lap cars at the right spot, they absolutely can help. But
and he's catching them at the exact right spot. As long as Thomas Bressi is a gentleman here, and I don't think he really has any other option, as he gets loose coming out of that corner, and that opens it up for
Nothing in
Tyler
between 'em.
Hensley, or for him to catch Tyler Hensley.
Yep, no one in between them now. They are
2 seconds separated. 17 laps to catch and close that what is now a 1.9 second gap. I think he's got to do nothing more than cruise for the next 7 laps, close it down, get himself into position to where he can get the pass done in 3 laps and just separate.
I still don't think it's going to be that easy. We'll have to see, but I do think Tyler Hensley was saving a little bit. I don't know if he saved enough, but I do think we might end up seeing more of a battle than we might expect with the difference in lap times right now.
Well, and that's why I'm saying it's going to probably take him a good 3 laps to get himself around. But we're watching this gap close to where it is now about 1.25 seconds for Tyler Hensley, and that purple car is becoming a bigger and bigger object in the mirror.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, we're almost under a second. If Hensley has anything he's saved, now's the time to use it, I think, at least some of it, because you do not want to let him get within a second and get that draft, or as you said, the 8/10 of a second. But
it's just from my own personal experience.
Yeah, I mean, these cars do punch a bit of a hole through the air, not as much as the trucks, but you know, they do punch a hole, and you'll get a little bit of a second, not a whole lot. But right now, Alan Elwood within 9/10, under 9/10 now. We're going to see here if Tyler Hensley was able to save anything, and if he's going to make this battle.
As coming onto the front stretch, it is under 3/4 of a second. And now I think is where the charge truly happens. As it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger.
Can you bring up the lap time differentials again, or the gap differentials? Take a look at that. See, yeah, I mean, obviously that differential is not nearly as big as it was earlier. You know, with those half seconds. You know, and a lot of that's, you know, with the tires falling off for Elwood, but right now, I mean, Elwood's definitely faster. I mean, once again, another lap here, faster. We're going to see. I think if Hensley had anything left, he would have started using it, but so far has not shown his hand.
Well, again, he could just be waiting until he is right there to start showing his hand, as we're seeing him drop down to that low line. It is going to be the faster way around track, but you got to hope that you have enough tire left to be able to do it, and Alan Elwood was closing in, but only 0.05 of a second faster on that last lap. So Tyler Hensley does have the ability to keep him at bay, but the question's going to be, how aggressive is he on that low line trying to keep him back?
Yeah, I mean, 11 laps is a long time to try to keep Alan Elwood held back, and we'll see what he can do. But man, we've got a lot of laps left, and Elwood, you know, closes up the gap even more right here. He's looking to make a pass, I think. Not going to do it here though.
No, he's probably going to try to set himself up in the right position to get it done on the front stretch, entering turn 1, because he's just keeping to his own line, knowing that that's where he's comfortable. But take advantage of the draft, get himself sucked up as close as he can, get as much speed, and try to hold on to the draft as much as he can, because we're seeing Tyler Hensley.
Look at that right there, though. Hensley ran a different line that time than he did the previous time. He is trying to find ways, not directly to block, but what you're trying to do there is, these cars are affected by dirty air, not to the extent of like an Indy car or something, but he's trying to take a little bit of the air off of that nose of Alan Elwood's car. But I don't think it's going to be enough here. Elwood is going to try to make the pass high, and I think he might have the car to do it.
And that's the first time I've really noticed Tyler Hensley trying to get down all the way to the white line through 1 and 2. He's been doing it through 3 and 4, but I don't think that that's going to be enough to keep him at bay, because Alan Elwood has mastered that middle line in 3 and 4. He's going to get a great run, get the pass officially done, and he is back in the lead of this race. And now it comes time to just go ahead with 7 to go. And Will Roberts has crashed? Or is it just because he keeps blinking right there?
I think that might just because he's blinking.
I'm hoping for the sake of this race, that's what it is, because the last thing Alan Elwood wants to see right now is a caution.
Yeah, caution changes everything right now. But, hey, if this is how it ends right here, I mean, Tyler Hensley clearly was, saving something, because he did put up a battle. And he's still fighting back now. I mean, he is not giving up on this thing. Man, I wasn't expecting him to be able to battle back this hard, but he was trying to get his nose in there, not quite able to do it. Gets a little loose on corner exit.
Well, he's using that lower line on the turns and jumping up right into the draft as soon as he can to get as much speed as possible. And for some reason, now we've got Thomas Bressi joining this fight and having some fun.
Yeah. Well,
he's an 18th. He's an 18th, but he's making this battle just that much more difficult, because that's going to give Tyler Hensley a draft and make it so he has the opportunity to fight back as much as he can. But I think at this point, Thomas Bressi, they aren't going to be able to keep pace with him, though seems to be doing it. And are these guys on a team? Because I'm just going to stick with, I don't know if Thomas Bressi is actually holding up Alan Elwood right now.
Well, yeah, Bressi and Hensley are on a team together. So I don't think it's anything intentional here. Looking at lap times, like there's been much of a difference for Bressi versus what he was running before. So,
but he has 15 lap fresher tires than Alan Elwood, and Tyler Hensley, it's 20. I honestly am a firm believer that there's no reason why he should be churning the same lap times as these guys.
Well, maybe just got the tires a little hot. Looks like he's pulling away now. They just got him a little hot making that pass, and I've been there before.
As we have 2 laps to go, and this battle is far from over. I think we're going to see Tyler Hensley try. I'm not going to call it a desperation move, but it's going to be a bold move.
Well, look, I mean, he's got an 8.5-second lead over third place Hayden Pistorius. I mean, he can make some moves. He doesn't have to worry about like, oh, well, I've got to try to conserve my second place position. As long as he doesn't wreck before he crosses the start-finish line to finish this thing, he can do some crazy moves.
But as we come to the front stretch, we have the white flag flying. Alan Elwood has led most of this race, but Tyler Hensley, 5-lap older tires, is right there. And I think we are going to definitely see something coming out of turn 4, because he's only about 1/10 of a second back. So we're going to see if that low line is going to be able to prevail. Nope. But Alan Elwood just blocks any kind of run he may be able to have. And Alan Elwood takes his 2nd consecutive win tonight in Atlanta.
What an incredible run for Alan Elwood tonight. But, man, a valiant effort from Tyler Hensley. Fighting hard there, even with older tires, definitely slower at that point in the race, but was still trying to fight hard to get that win. Just a little short.
But Tyler Hensley, that Alan Elwood, yes, best driver out on track tonight, but Tyler Hensley has my vote for driver of the day because he made Alan work for that at the end.
Yeah, no doubt.
And we'll take a quick run through the field while Alan mows the grass for us. Alan Elwood is our winner. Tyler Hensley in second. Hayden Pastoris in third. Michael Stroll fourth. Eric Wineland fifth. Randy Bechtel in sixth. Justin Morton seventh. Chad Mikus in eighth. Brandon Bernhardt in ninth. And Joe Densmore in 10th.
In 11th, we have Chris Matthews. 12th is Brian Kidda. 13th, Casey Shue. 14th is Kyle Cooper. 15th, Will Roberts. 16th, John Gervin. 17th, Boomer Logan. 18th, Thomas Bressi. 19th, Blake Gordon. And in 20th, Tyler Dolger.
And 21st is Cal Filarski. 22nd is Travis McQuistion. 23rd, Don Runkle Jr. 24th, Gael Brooks. 25th, Zach Edwards. And 26th is the guy who just wanted to get the points.
Yeah, it's basically no. I still think I can win this thing.
I don't think that was the kind of finish that you needed, but let's go ahead and grab our winner. All right, Alan. Are you just wanting to talk to us every week now?
Hey, that's the goal. One more week to do it.
Dominant run from you tonight. What was going through your head for those last, 20 laps?
To be honest with you, that was one of the most mentally exhausting races I've raced in quite a while. You had to be eggshell soft on the throttle all night long. For the first couple laps, you had a little bit of grip, but once the tires really worn out, and we talked in weeks past about this race being this way, it wasn't the line that I expected to be fast. You usually expect Atlanta to, for the most part, probably be on the bottom. And coming in here, everybody's, migrated to the top, and you realize that's where the speed's at because that's where the grip is. And you have to adapt and adjust your line because, it's not something that you expect to go in and race the track that way. So I appreciated Hensley trying the undercut because, I wasn't sure when to pit. So him going in kind of gave me a good judgment of when I should go ahead and take my last stop and have enough. I had to have enough laps to catch him. That was the problem. So you didn't want to stretch it too far because if you did, it evens out enough and you don't have enough laps to catch the guy that you're trying to chase. So I appreciated him for trying that, and it gave me something to really chase for there at the end. So hell of a race with him. And I know that Bressi was right there trying to kind of help his teammate out. I don't blame him. But, I was like, well, this is just the way it's got to be at the end of the race, and I just got to power through.
Yeah, we were watching that and kind of figured that was the case because he had 15-lap newer tires, and you know what? Sometimes the teammate has to fall on the sword.
Yeah, uncharacteristically bad night for him. Coming into this race, him and I being as close as we are on points, I knew it was going to be a battle with him especially. And, I almost messed up myself, to be honest. I didn't get my brake bias set where I needed it to get on pit road the first time. And I absolutely almost 360'd the thing. I don't know how I saved it. I don't know how I didn't get it in the grass. But I just corralled it, got it on pit road, and went on my way. And so, at the end of the race, when I saw him coming up, I was like, okay, I know that he's going to take my line away. And that's just the gamesmanship there is with racing, is you got a teammate that's battling for a win. You maybe slow up a little bit, just try to, help your teammate out as much as possible. And, I don't blame him for that. And like I said, it's just the gamesmanship that is racing. And like I said, it was a great battle at the end.
So go ahead.
I want to ask you about early on in the race. We based on what I had seen running out there with you guys in practice, I had expected, as you mentioned, the high line being the fast line, and obviously you usually can take care of your tires running up on the high line as well. But we saw early on, you were very aggressive, making moves on that low line, trying to take away the lead, and yet somehow you were still taking care of your tires. Do you think there's something specific you were doing, or was the bottom line just able to conserve tires more than I was expecting?
I think maybe I had a little bit lower brake bias or something than those guys. Maybe my steering ratio was a little bit different. I don't know. We were all kind of even there for the first few laps on that first green run, and then the pace was there, and the only place that you're going to try to make a pass was the bottom because everybody was running up top. So, I was trying in a way to kind of get those guys to burn their stuff up and hopefully run them a little bit harder, and I think we accomplished that. But yeah, like especially 3 and 4, if you guys are watching Hensley, and of course you were, but that low line in 3 and 4 seemed to have something there that I couldn't figure out. I mean, it looked like it early on, but like running by yourself and trying to run consistent laps, I found like the higher end in both corners were better for me. And he was making the low line work really well in 3 and 4, and I think he was running up a little bit higher in 1 and 2. So there was something to that low line down in 3 and 4 that he had mastered, and I think that's why his tires actually, probably why I had a little bit better tires in the beginning when I was running the low line. I think his tires were a little bit better as the run went on because he was running that low line, and you actually could be more smooth down there than up top where you're trying to really hustle the car and you might be a little herky-jerky with the wheels. So there was something down there. I couldn't figure it out, but I knew if I just had those fresher tires that regardless of what he was doing there for the end, that I could hopefully get around him.
Well, I will tell you that the admins are on top of the points right now, to where you are 19 points clear of Justin Morton right now, who's in second, and 26 clear of Thomas Bressi going into Nashville Super Speedway next week. So is that going to change your game plan, or is it, I want to win, I want to dominate?
It's going to be a race of, I don't think I can go into the race with any different mentality. I think I got to race it the same as I have the rest of these races, and just, you're out there to try and win and do the best you can. So if I don't mess up, then I feel really good about my chances. Try not to make mistakes, and, just stay clean, give people room as necessary, but don't be, don't give too much room, because if you're too lax, if you're too, if you're not aggressive enough, then you can cause yourself trouble and maybe spin out because you're not focusing or something. So you have to just kind of race it the same that you normally do, keep your same mentality, style of driving, and, let the rest take care of itself. As in tonight, like, just everybody else, you can't focus on them. You have to just go out there, run your race, and try to lead laps or whatever it is. So I can't go into next week with anything different. It's just got to be straightforward focus, and hopefully everything will work out.
Now, it's always good to go into these races with a little bit of extra padding into the championships, but I'm looking forward to you running it full bore, just trying to get the win and keep yourself focused, because I love Nashville. I really do. Some people hate it. I don't want them to change it from the cement. And yeah, I'm a believer of that.
I'm looking forward to it. I think the track's going to put on a good race, so that's why we put it at the end of the year. It's something fresh, something new. So I'm sure there's going to be some practice laps run for sure, to get accustomed to the line and how to run the track. But from what I've raced of it so far, it does put on good racing. The corner exits are tight, so you got to be careful to not hit the wall. But yeah, I think it's going to be a great race for sure.
No, great run from you tonight. I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing you, chatting with you next week, not only as a race winner, but potentially as the season winner.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I appreciate you guys being here all season, stepping up for our broadcasting, and you guys have done a great job this year. And not only for myself as far as the championship goes, but we're trying to close out the team championship as well. So we want to get, a driver's championship, but we also want to get a team championship and close out the deal there too. So we got 2 things to strive for.
Well, best of luck to you, and hopefully we'll chat with you next week.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
No problem. All right, onward to Mr. Tyler Hensley, who's probably got a lot to say. Hey, Tyler, how are you doing this evening?
I'm all right, guys. How about y'all?
Great show there at the end. What was your strategy? Because we saw you running that low line out of 3 and 4 where not really many people were towards the end of the race.
Honestly, I was kind of just babying it. Wasn't ever really trying to run hard, especially after we got about 10, 15 laps on him. I was just babying it. I was really hoping I would catch Alan off guard, and I think he pitted maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 laps after us, before us on the first stint. And I was like, well, maybe I'll flip-flop it and see if I can maintain a gap, and it didn't really work out.
So one thing we were discussing in the booth is, there after that last round of pit stops, you would, pitted about 5 laps before Alan and had quite a bit of a lead, but Alan was, cutting into that lead pretty quickly. Were you holding back at all, trying to conserve so that you would have more tire, to battle him once he caught you, or had your tires just fallen off that quickly?
No, I out of the pits, I knew I was going to have to run hard for about 4, maybe 5 laps, just to get what I could on him. And then my game plan from there was just to find a pace that I had all night and stick with it, because I knew on the longer runs, the last 10, 15 laps, I really killed him. And I was hoping that's how it would play out, even with me coming in a little bit earlier, but we equaled out. We equaled out right there at the end, the last 5, 6 laps, and I could get there, but I couldn't do anything with it.
Well, it seemed at that point you also got a little bit of help thrown in there. Was that coordinated, or was Thomas just kind of seeing you there and trying to be the gentleman teammate?
Not coordinated. Honestly, I think that was just Thomas. Once he gets an idea, it's there's no stopping it. So
he's much more of a gentleman teammate than either Carl or I are, because I mean, yeah, neither of us do that for each other, despite being teammates.
Well, and it's funny because like he got up there, and like you're hurting me too. So this is not fun. Please go away. But either way, it's a really good run. Really good speed tonight. Just wish I could have closed it out.
Honestly, if you rewatch the broadcast, you have my vote for driver of the night because your strategy was on point. And honestly, seeing a battle towards the end is always great entertainment for us, but seeing that high quality of a battle, just perfection at the end.
I knew it was going to be a slugfest, just knowing who I was against anyway, and I really thought there would be more of us up there, just the way the race played out, but I guess other people had some stuff go down. But man, tonight was definitely a battle.
No, I think it was a great finish for you. It actually moved you up 2 places in the championship, in the playoffs, to where you're now running in 5th. So that is an absolutely amazing result in my mind.
I'll take it. It's probably shy of a win. This is one of the better seasons I've had as far as putting together some top 5s, top 10s. So take it where I can get it.
No, great run from you tonight. hope we can see more of this going forward.
Me too. Me too.
So next week we're off to Nashville Super Speedway. What are your thoughts on the track, and ultimately, how confident are you that you may be able to make up a few more positions in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think I can make up some more spots. It's definitely going to be tough. I mean, obviously, the higher up you get, the harder it gets. But I think I can make up a few more. I really like that track. It's a shame tonight didn't work out. This is probably one of my 2 favorite tracks that we go to. And then next week, honestly, it's kind of much of the same. I really like the cross between like an intermediate and a short track. Places, you get some intermediate speeds, but it kind of races like a short track. So I'm excited.
No, absolutely wonderful run from you tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing if you can repeat and, well, do better next week, because from what we got to see tonight, absolutely brilliant run.
Thanks, guys. Hopefully next week I'm talking to you with a W.
I'm looking forward to it. All right, but thank you very much, sir. We've got one more person to chat with, and again, hopefully we'll get to chat with you next week.
Yeah, thanks again. Hopefully we're chatting with a W next week, and hopefully my teammates have a little better showing, but we'll see y'all next time.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, and onward to chatting with everybody's favorite Canadian, Hayden Pistorius. All right, Hayden, I just want to know what happened in qualifying, because I feel like you would have ended up fighting for the lead if you weren't starting in the back.
It's kind of embarrassing. I went out there, I got loose on my first lap, and then I went into turn 3. I was tracking towards like somewhere in the top 5, and then I barely just tapped the wall, and it just screwed me. So, I take an opportunity to start from 20th as a good thing, because I get more of experience running in traffic and how to maneuver it and whatnot. So I took it more of as an advantage, and I hope. Sorry, I'm at a loss for words right now. It's incredible. It's drive of a lifetime for me. It's the best race I've ever driven in all of iRacing history, my whole entire sim racing life, pretty much. So to be able to do that, it's unbelievable.
I mean, honestly, we haven't had a chance to chat with you, so
I think the last time we talked to each other was the podcast. So it definitely feels great to be up here and talking to you guys and in these circumstances. So yeah.
Carl.
So we saw, you obviously you were able to cut through the field really quickly, and it felt like you had speed both on long runs and on short runs. What do you think you were doing out there differently that was able to allow you to do that?
Well, all week long I've put in unbelievable. It's like I put 500 laps in this week of practice. Not even just here at Atlanta, just in general. I've worked on my throttle inputs and be able to roll the throttle a lot better and save tires. So I've had to thank my teammate Liam Sheen for the help, because he sat there and gave his own time to be able to help me. So yeah, without him, I wouldn't be here right now.
So I'm gonna ask this question. Were you working on the throttle control just for Atlanta, or in preparation for next week going to Nashville?
Mainly just to try fighting for this team championship. I'm kind of dragging TDR down a little bit right now, so for that too, and then to be able to fight for a championship next season, because I really, really, really need to be more consistent with my finishing order, and I can't do that without doing some work. Before I couldn't recognize what I was doing wrong. That was setting me back a lot. So now I can actually look forward and look through this race actually and pick out what I did wrong and what I could have done better, which I already know what I did wrong and I could have done better. Was my pit entrance and then pit exit was terrible. I lost all my time there, and Yeah.
Trust me, you're talking to two people that pit road is an Achilles heel.
Oh, yeah. It's always been terrible for me. I've never been good on and off it, but it's just to be able to notice how much time it's actually costed me. It's definitely a bigger deal than I assumed it was. So I'm definitely going to go work on that throughout the week and try getting that better, and hopefully come out in Nashville and have another good run and grab that team championship, because that's pretty much the big picture for me right now and us in TDR. So again, we're not going to let a few bad races put us down, and we're going to go up for the fight. There's no way we're going to give up.
You were the second person to bring up the team championship tonight, and if I'm being completely honest, I forgot that there was a team championship until tonight.
It's just we start off the year with 3 drivers, but one moved away to college, Riley Thompson. So we went to a 2-driver team, and we really just stretched the gap out. And it came to Talladega, and we lost mainly about like 70 points or something, and then to VRA. So now we're in a little bit tighter battle than we would have wanted to be in at first. So definitely a 2-car teams with this points format. It's definitely more OP to have 2 drivers.
No, but it was a great run from you tonight. Carl was in the picture-in-picture, constantly bringing you up as you just flew through the field. Unfortunately, no longer the Hard Charger award, but you definitely got that tonight.
Yeah, it's at the end of the race. I was like, dang, I really hope that Hard Charger didn't get taken away, because I would have easily had it here.
Yeah, 17 positions, and I mean, even your finish tonight moved you up 3 positions in the playoffs to where now you're in 8th, and easily within striking distance of potentially getting yourself up into 6th.
That's going to be another picture for me. Is kind of try getting as far up possible, but like I said, right now, a big picture for me is team points, because I really want to bring that home, and I don't want to be the one that drove us down for the last few races because I raced poorly. So yeah, that's a big picture for me, but definitely get up the P6 and points would definitely be a cherry on top for sure.
No, it was a great run from you tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing what all that practice is going to bring us next week at Nashville, because throttle control is huge there.
Absolutely.
But thank you very much, sir. I'll let you get back to your evening. And again, great run tonight.
Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you guys next week.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right. That is going to do it for us tonight on Ghostfire Media. Make sure catch us throughout the week. Wednesday at 8 we have Daytona Road Course in the AOLL Sportsman Series. Thursday night 8 o'clock we have the AOLL TNT Series coming to you from Las Vegas. Friday night's gonna be the podcast. I think we're going to end up bringing in some of the sportsman drivers from the chase and having a grand old time with a lot more smack talk like we did this past Friday. Sunday, catch us for the AOLL Cup Series. That is going to be round 2 of the final playoff round from Rockingham. And then next Monday night, catch us for the finale for the Fuel 2021 B Series coming to you from Nashville Super Speedway. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm Josh Laston, and with me tonight is Mr. Carl Henderson. Have yourselves a good night.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.